All right, welcome in to the first episode of the 2025-2026 academic year, the CCC President's Show with our lovely president, biggest Eagles fan. As you can tell, we got our Eagles garb on today. We're recording this on opening day. That's a good point. I love that. They're playing the Cowboys to open up. That's fantastic. But I'm Nick Earnshaw, your radio station coordinator here at 91.5 WDBK-FM. Dr. Pugh Bassett, thank you so much for sitting down. I know you're excited for the game tonight, as everyone can tell. We're going to talk about a ton of stuff, but before we get into that, we're going to make sure to follow CCC on all the social platforms, as well as 91.5 WDBK. That's at Camden CC, as well as at 915 WDBK. All right. President Pugh Bassett, we're back in the swing of things. It's a new year. It's always exciting, right? Hustle and bustle. Absolutely. You can tell right away, as someone who's now worked here for a couple of years, the switch over. When the students get here, you're running around. It's a lot of fun. It's a new year, new semester. What does that feeling mean to you as the college president?
So listen, today I'm kind of doing dual action, right? So it's a kickoff for the school year and it's a kickoff for the NFL season. So I'm really, really excited. So for me, it's like, you can feel the vibrancy in the air, right? So my office happens to face like the central part of campus. Yes. So sometimes I just go to the window and just look out the window and just take a deep breath and just look at how amazing the opportunities are that are walking around the campus. Because I look at each student as hope, right? As aspiration, as opportunity. And I look at us as the folks who are building a bridge for them to be able to get to where they want to be. So it is very, very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, tons of students coming in. Orientation was a lot of fun too. Did a little different this year. What did you make of all the new students coming in for orientation? I guess the first time, what do you make of all their faces when they first get here?
So it's funny because when you first talk to students, of course, most of my interactions during the first week of school is really helping a student who might be looking for the classroom, right? Looking for the building, kind of lost. But then I ask them questions about their major and how they feel about it. The biggest question I ask is, what do you think of the campus? And the biggest response I get is, this is just not what I expected, right? And so I try to figure out, okay, is that a positive? Is that a negative? And they say, we just did not expect it to feel like a college campus, right? And so I'm really proud at the way that we've been able to present ourselves and make students feel like they're actually, I'm in college right now, and now I need to figure out how to navigate that. So that's really exciting because you see the newness in their faces, you see the excitement, and some might be scared half to death, but nonetheless, they're all really anxious about making sure that they get to their classes and making sure that they have a great experience. So that's really exciting for me.
And it's like you get here and it's a real college, guys. Like it's a real thing. Like how do you change that stigma? Like what have you noticed over the past couple of years as you've become the president of the college to change that and like now see new students come in, they're like, oh, this is legitimately college, right? Instead of that stigma, oh, it's community college, blah, blah, blah. How do you get past that?
I think the best thing we can do is just how we present ourselves, right? Making sure that when they come here, they see and experience the feeling of an actual college. I think that has a lot to do with the activities we offer, the extracurricular activities, the clubs, that kind of thing. I also think it's how we present our spaces, right? We have the CAF is the place to hang out. We have a new student success center where they're going to be able to hang out. So just making sure that it feels like a college. It's hard to translate that in words, right? It's hard to say, this really feels like a college, guys. You have to bring people in so that they can see and experience it themselves.
I'll tell you, the CAF is always packed. I know we got pool tables up there. We've done some shows up there as well. The station plays up there. It definitely has a different feel now, for sure. Especially, I'm an alum, so I knew what it was like beforehand. Now it's like, yeah, this is awesome. Like that's the place to be. I walk up there for lunch and I'm going in there. I'm like, holy moly, there's so many people just hanging out there. It's like the place to be on campus.
It is, and we're excited about the overhaul of that space because it's making it for more of a dynamic space for students to be able to congregate in small groups, large groups, individually, giving each student an opportunity to congregate how they're comfortable. The space that we're setting up in the Success Center is going to be very similar to that space. More focused on supports, resources, and academics, but still a place for them to be able to congregate in spaces and places that are much more comfortable for them.
Yeah, it's really cool to see all the new spaces on campus being renovated and them getting involved. And speaking of getting involved, there's a lot of activities, organizations, clubs to get involved with. why should students get more involved on campus? What do you see as the college president when students get involved? How do they, elevate their student experience when they do that?
So I'll answer that in two ways.
Mhm.
One, I'll answer it in the more kind of academic way,
Yeah.
right? A student that is involved and engaged is a student that does better in their courses altogether. But from the purposes of a student's journey in a college experience, that's part of the journey, right? So the student doesn't come to college just to sit in a classroom. A student comes to college to be able to expand their whole
Right.
life experience, right? Their perspective and their interactions and understanding how to become an adult, especially for the younger ones. The older ones come here for a bit of an experience and how to be able to build upon their life experience, right? And so it's a cultural thing that happens when they come into this space. So a student who gets engaged has a way to be able to expand that atmosphere, right? They can shift their paradigm. If they're thinking one way, now they may be open to thinking another way. And it gives them opportunities to be able to connect with students that they may not otherwise be able to connect with.
Right. And just tell me about some of the clubs and organizations that we do have on campus. I feel like there's something for everybody, right? Like, obviously we have the radio station here. I mean, it's not even just for communication students either. Like, it's for, we have nurses a part of this program, tons of other majors as well, which is really cool. But tell me about some of the other organizations that people can get involved
So
with.
there are a number of organizations, and some of them are led by students. Some of them are led specifically by interest. We have opportunities for students who are focused on religious studies to be able to congregate with folks who are like-minded. We have opportunities for students who are part of a particular group, LGBTQIA+ or African American. Those organizations are open for all students, but they focus on the interests of the students that they're categorized after. But also opportunities for students to open up or start their own clubs. If there's a student who's interested in knitting, then perhaps there are other students who are also interested in the same thing. Then we can get someone to sponsor the club and be able to offer students a chance to do that. So, the club, it's fluid. We're not saying that these are the only clubs we offer. We're saying that there are opportunities for us to be able to tap in to the interests of our students. Our student population shifts and changes, and the interests do the same, right? So we want to make sure that we're providing opportunities for students to be able to experience and tap into their own personal interests while they're navigating their academic journeys.
I can tell you it is so much better when you're involved in something, because what's great about getting involved on campus, right, is you get to meet new people. You get to make lifelong friends, but also it's networking. You will see those people again somewhere down the line. Absolutely. And you will make a connection down the line. I think that's just so important when you're going to college, right? You want to make those connections that could help you get a job later on.
Sure. And it'll make you expand your horizons.
Yes.
It gives you
try something new
to be able to do something different. Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. There's so many ways to get involved here at the college. And I just want to know, why is CCC the place to be? I mean, that's part of it, but why overall? Like, we have great organizations, all this type of stuff, right? We have the cafe, that's the place to be. We have great academic programs as well. But why overall, from your perspective, CCC?
So listen, it's an absolute pat on the back for this institution. Camden County College is an opportunity for students who are at any point in their lives, right? A student who is coming from high school who seeks to be able to have an affordable option through to a four-year institution can come here first and be able to do that. A student who is working and trying to build up their skill set so that they can be able to get a promotion or something like that, they can come here. Student who wants to be a plumber, who wants to be a welder, who wants to be an electrician,
everything,
who is looking to get an apprenticeship or some type of certification, they can come here. This is a bridge towards other opportunities, right? So a viable job, an opportunity to go to another four-year institution, or any other pathway that a student seeks to explore, they can start first here at Camden County College.
Yeah, it's definitely a great building block for someone's career, especially if they're starting young, even if they're later in life, right? They come back. We have veterans a part of the station. We do. So like, it's not just for people just graduating high school. Anyone can come back really kind of start over, right?
And I think that's the beauty of Camden County College, because you get to interact with people who are generations away from you, right? So in a homogeneous community like a four-year institution, students are just dealing with other 18 to 22-year-olds. But here, you get to learn from someone who might be the same age as your mom or your grandmom or something. And they likewise can learn from younger people. So it's a real great cultural potpourri, if you
Yep.
will, generational potpourri for students to be able to learn from one another. Because part of this experience is not just the folks who work here, it's the folks who come that get to interact with each other.
Yep, absolutely. It's a big part of the culture and community here at the college. All right, we got to talk about something. You're like a superstar. We have superstars all over this this campus, right? The MVC 10 interview.
Yeah.
That just came out. What was that like going through that process?
It was fun.
Was it fun?
It was fun. You know, it's hard to be able to consolidate the range of value in a
couple of
small
minutes,
clip,
right?
right? So, you know, so they've clipped some things out, but yeah, it was a great opportunity for us to be able to share with others the value of Camden County College. We did a spot during a preseason game, which was pretty cool, and we're hoping to get a spot tonight during the preseason game. So we're really trying to expand our market, really saturate the area. I mean, this is a tri-state area institution, right? So we want to make sure that we're feeding into the Philadelphia market as well. So it was pretty cool to do that. And we're looking forward to having new and more opportunities in the future.
Yeah, that was really cool. One of our students here at the station was a part of that as well. Haley J. Mejia. She's going to one of your alma maters too.
Yes, she is.
She's going to Temple.
University.
She got a partial scholarship, I believe, to Temple. So congrats to her. We wish her the best. She did a great job with our social media last year.
She did a great job on that clip as well. I mean,
you could tell. Natural.
You didn't have to feed her any information. It was all from the heart.
It was all right there, which is really cool. And she was involved, and she's a perfect example of getting involved on campus. It just leads to something else, right? And it's really cool to see. All right, with that, it is a new year. Welcome back celebration is on the way.
It's coming.
What are your expectations for that? Like, are you excited? I love when we've done it in the past. It's always like a really good time because you're meeting new people. You're out there, we're barbecuing, the whole thing. Tell me about your experience with the welcome back celebration, what to expect this year.
It is like a family cookout. It's a great time for us to be able, meaning folks who work here, staff, administrators, faculty, to be able to interact with students, new and returning students, and just really let our hair down and just enjoy our time with them. In fact, I always encourage my team to go out, get out your office and enjoy being with students. I encourage them to do that the first week of classes. I also encourage them to do that during our welcome back and our spring fling barbecue. So yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I go out there, dance a little, talk a little.
I always see you out there.
It's a great time.
It's a party.
It is, and it's, you know, it's really good because students get to see you as a human being and not your title, right? Because, you know, we don't wear our titles here. We roll up our sleeves and we're all here to do the good work that this institution does, and we're all here for students. So it's a great time for us to be able to be reminded of that. Yep.
For you, the number one goal heading into this year, as the year progresses, what is it for you?
So this year we're focusing on recruitment and retention. We're focusing on making sure that we recruit the right students who are the right fit for us and we're the right fit for them. And then once we get them in, we make sure that we keep them.
Yep.
I mean, it might seem simple. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to make those things happen. But we definitely want to make sure that we are the right institution for each of our students.
Yeah, I absolutely. You know, we do it every day, right? Like that, people don't see and know the work that goes into that, right?
Yeah.
And having students come in and just keeping them there, like, hey, this is a great spot. We want to get you graduated. We want to get you that degree and move you on to the next thing.
Everybody has a part to play, right? A public safety officer who offers a smile and a helpful hand has a part to play in the student coming back. You never know when your interaction with a student is going to keep him or her coming back from day to day.
Yeah, and we've like all had those interactions, like just going through life, right? Like, you might remember something. It might not mean something to someone else, right? It could just be another daily interaction. But to that individual, that could mean something down the line. They could be talking about it in 30, 40 years, you know?
And that's what makes each of us ambassadors, right? I mean, I have tried to recruit students in a drive-through, right? I mean, where are you going to school? Oh, have you thought about Camden County College? So it's an opportunity for us to all see ourselves as the brand. We are the brand, and we need to make sure that we're communicating that brand to everyone we interact with.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I do love it. I do love marketing. So like, it's part of what we do. We do promotions over here as well too. So all right, I got a couple of fun questions for you.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to talk Eagles in a second, but I want to talk about some things as president, put you some hypotheticals. All right, this one's going to be a little fun.
All
right. If you could switch places with a student for one day, what would you do first?
Ooh. Ooh, if I could switch places with a student for one day, um,
I got you on this one.
yeah, you did, because I'm just like, where would I start?
Where would you start? If you're on campus, you're coming in,
yeah.
first day of class, you're not the president,
And
you're
that
a
would be a
student.
new student, a student who's not
New
familiar with
student.
the campus.
Yeah.
Okay, so I may go to the CAF.
Go
I
right
may
to the
go
CAF? All right.
I would probably gravitate to the place where there are a lot of students and maybe just hang out. You know, I know that some of the things that our new students need is to kind of get rid of the jitters, and oftentimes places that are safe spaces, comfortable spaces
Mhm.
is the place to do that. So I'll probably explore that and try to see if I can make a couple of new friends
Yeah.
and really, you know, get a gist of what the campus feel is like, and then I'll go out from there.
All right. If you weren't a college president, what career do you think you'd be doing?
So it's funny because I went to undergrad desiring to be a mathematician.
Wow.
And then I took college math and said, I don't like this. Like, I am more personable. I like to be able to interact and engage. And so that kind of shifted. But I think that if I wasn't a college president, I'd probably be some type of attorney.
Okay.
Defending folks who don't have an opportunity to defend themselves.
That's really cool. That's very interesting. Yeah, math, it's not my forte. As you can kind of tell.
Behind the desk type of job, I need to be out there.
All right. What hobby or talent do you have that students would never guess?
Oh, I was a professional roller skater.
What? I didn't know that.
Professional roller skater, and
a professional roller skater.
I competed for double dutch. I was a double.
Get out of here!
Absolutely.
How do you get into being a professional roller skater? That's awesome.
So you know, my generation, that was a big deal, right?
Yeah,
so we went skating a lot, and so you get to the point where you start forming groups, and then you start coming up with routines and that kind of thing. And so my sister and I were involved in that scene, and we did a whole lot of, you know, once we got there was a group of us that everybody knew who we were, and they cleared the floor when we were ready to do our thing. So
that is so cool. I didn't know that. I don't think any of the students would have known that either. That's awesome. All right, last fun one for you before we get into, you know, what we got wearing. You know, do you have a go-to karaoke song? Because we're having the welcome back. We are a radio station. What would be your karaoke song go-to? You don't even need to look at the words.
It would probably be Lauryn Hill, "Killing Me Softly."
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. I love it. All right, I don't even know what my karaoke song would be. I don't think anyone wants to hear me sing karaoke.
Oh, no. Well, that's another fun fact. I sing. Yes.
Yes. No one wants to hear me sing. No way. I remember I went to like a karaoke spot before, and just they're trying to get me to sing, my friends and I was like, no.
But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, but I'm only in the shower.
Oh,
only in the shower.
But go to Songbird. They have the acoustics and everything
set
up, and you can.
No, I'm not singing. I can talk. I'm good at talking. Singing, when we change the pitch, no. I'm out. I'm out on it. All right, let's get to it. Before we get out of here, the Eagles, Cowboys, they're going to raise a banner. I know you're excited. I love that you're wearing the Cowboy Eagles hat. Yes. Just a slap in the face to the Cowboys, right?
Juxtaposition.
All right. After the Super Bowl last year, I mean, did you go to the parade?
Of course I went.
You went to the parade, right? Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm going to make sure. I forgot. I couldn't remember if you went or not.
All of them.
Yes. So with that, what was your experience like at the parade last year?
So
they're raising it tonight. The banner's going up.
Last year's parade, I thought, was actually better than the first.
Okay.
And I think part of it was because I was better prepared. That's one.
You knew what to expect.
Right. And then this time, it wasn't as cold as the first one.
Yes,
so
it was not.
It wasn't that bad. The folks that I go with, we walk over the bridge. So we park at the base of the bridge and walk over. So the walk was nothing because everybody's walking.
Everyone's excited, right?
So I got a little bit closer, I think, to the parade route this year or this past year than I did the first time. The first time I went through to the art museum. This time I went around City Hall. So I was able to see a better. So it was a great experience.
That was fun. I was there too. I was down by the art museum again.
Okay.
Front row. It was we got up at like 4 a.m. Took the train in. It was crazy day.
Yeah.
So with that, what do you expect this year? What do you make of Jalen Hurts? I mean, the conversation around Jalen Hurts is so unfair to me because I think he's such a great quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's just disrespected, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean, it's so crazy because the haterade that is happening with the Eagles right now is unbelievable. I watched the documentary yesterday.
Yeah.
And pretty cool, the highlights and all that. And then after that, they did a post show.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, okay, well, what do they need? They're a young team. This is how you beat an Eagle. That you take them while they're young. You did, and I'm like, well, we just finished showing the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Why are we going from that to this? So yeah, I think there's a lot of haterade happening out there, but
that's what happens when you're on top, though, right?
Right? Yeah. I mean, listen,
no one likes us. We don't care.
I tell people, professionally, I said you need 3 specific people in your life. You need your mentor, you need your haters because they're very important. And then you of course need somebody that's gonna carry you along, right?
Yes.
Somebody that'll what we call a sponsor, right? That's able to take you in spaces that you're not in. But you gotta have haters because that helps you to build your character. So I'm okay with it. I just always sit back and laugh and grin because
shake
for some
my
reason,
head.
And it's so crazy that the name of the documentary yesterday was America's Game. And Dallas is considered America's team.
America's team.
They've been America's team
30 years. It's been 30 years. All right. What do you make of this? The Eagles aren't going to go out and watch the banner get raised up. They're not going out on the sideline. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Yes. Nick Sirianni said it in a press conference. They're not going to go watch the banner because they've put it behind them. They're on to the new season. Okay. Do you like that?
I think the banner is probably more for the fans.
I think so too. I agree.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, like the mentality.
Because I think that Sirianni is probably thinking, listen, don't get your head big. We did that. We celebrated. Now we're moving into. So I'm good with it. I think it's more for us and certainly more for us to be able to rub it in to the Cowboys. Right? That's it. Fun fact. I have a great uncle who played for the Dallas Cowboys.
Out of here.
Lovell Pugh. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
He was. And
how about that?
Never been a Cowboy.
Yes, you are the other side. All right, prediction. Who wins? What's the score? I mean, I know who you're going to pick, but what's the score?
Absolutely diehard Eagles. Let me say, I would say 36-14. Maybe we give them 2 touchdowns.
All right, destroy them.
Absolutely.
All right, I like it. I'll go 31-10.
Okay.
31-10. I think the defense is better than people think. That's my opinion.
I think it is. I think that Vic did a nice job at trying to pick who that center is tight to me, and I'm really excited about that. And interestingly enough, the balance between the number of defensive and offensive players is much more balanced this year than last year. So I'm super excited to see.
They're so young on defense too.
They are, but that's the thing that they see as a weakness. I think that's a strength.
I think it's a good thing. That shows that they can draft well too, which is really cool.
And I think these young guys have some energy and some strength that they're going to be surprised to see. So I'm excited.
Well, President Pugh Bassett, Camden County College. That was so much fun. Can I say that was a lot of fun? It's always fun. So we're going to do more of these during the semester, during the fall. Just kind of recapping what's going on at the college, new things going on, and to talk birds too. So we got to talk a little bit of birds. President Pugh Bassett, president of Camden County College. I am Nick Earnshaw, radio station coordinator here at 91.5 WDBK-FM, signing off.
Happy school year.